Hi everybody, Roy here. Well, I think it's going to be our last day of planting. It's 72 out right now. It's I think November 10th, and the temperatures are plummeting. It's going to be in the 20s Saturday night, so we're going to have a 50-degree temperature change, and then the teens end of next week. So things are stabilizing out at 30 to 20 kind of in the evening. So I thought I'd do a bulb planting. I have a bulb. I'll tell you about it, but if you're interested in more information about bulbs, Jill Sellinger, who works at the Chicago Botanic Garden, and she does a few days here at Northwind, did a great workshop on bulbs, which is in the YouTube a little farther earlier that we showed. So go check that out. Jill's very knowledgeable about bulbs and their interaction with perennials in the spring. But what I have here is Lillium, let me stabilize my shovel, Lillium Henryi. I had no idea these existed. I didn't know anything about Lillium Henryi. I heard about it from Piet Oudolf when he was here in August, recommending Catherine plant some of these in Lurie Garden, scattering them through some of the taller plants. So I looked them up and I ordered in a couple of hundred, and I got some to Catherine so she could scatter some around. And I thought I'd show them to you. It's not a big bulb, big as a $50. And but the key is, if they're spotted, they're orange and spotted. They get about 4 to 5, maybe 6 feet tall, but they have a very open spray of flowers, very gentle looking flowers, the orange spotted flowers. So I thought I'd plant some here in our gardens at Northwind, and I'm going to put them with plants that get big at the time. These will be flowering, and I'm using an example of Sanguisorba parviflora over here. The Sanguisorba parviflora, before it blooms in late July, the foliage is going to be about 3.5 feet tall, and then the flowers, you can see, gets up to almost, could be 7 feet tall. So I'm going to take some of these lilies and scatter them with the Calamagrostis Karl Forster, which at the time the lilies bloom, the Karl Forster is going to be about waist high. So you want to put Henryi with things that'll be about waist high when they bloom, and they'll be up here at about 5, maybe 6 feet, maybe 4 feet. And that depends on soil moisture and also the organic matter content of your soil. So I'm going to go scatter a few down here, and I'm going to put them in between the parviflora and the Calamagrostis Karl Forster. And I'm going to plant, I usually hold the lily at the top of the bulb, and I plant them a little below my knuckles right here. So I'm putting the bulb about 4.5, 5 inches deep. And this is my marker holding them at the top of the bulb. So I'll get my hole dug. I'm disappearing into the foliage of the plant. I'll loosen the soil here. Another one in there. I'll probably scatter 5 or 6 through here. Now I'm stepping across the path from the Sanguisorba parviflora and the Calamagrostis Karl Forster, and here I have Aster umbellatus. You can see how beautifully tall, but very vertical Aster umbellatus. Great seed heads too. And it's also with Sanguisorba parviflora. So I'm going to take the Lillium and I'm going to scatter them in between the Aster umbellatus and Sanguisorba. And again, I'll put probably 5 or 6, and I'll put a few right behind there too. So it won't be in lines or circles. They'll be scattered as if they seeded it in between the plants and the plant communities. So I'm going to go in here now, and trust me, this is a lot of fun, getting on the ground and being part of the ground layer, crawling down in between the plants. Okay, well, here I go. And I just loosen the soil, grab it like that, put it in. Easy. I have to say, it is enjoyable, because I'm looking forward to next year. I'm interacting. How much more interacting can you get with the plants and crawling through them like this? And you see how how sturdy and woody they've gotten. I'll take another one. I use my measuring device, inch past my knuckle, into the soil. Down it goes. Grab another one. And down it goes. I'm waiting for a plant to hit me in the face or something the wrong way and have a blooper. I fall backwards and hit my head on the shovel. But so far, so good. There you go. And people looking at me, if they're just walking by, are thinking, that poor guy. Look at him crawling on the ground. They don't know I'm having the time of my life doing this. This is like too exciting. And I have to say, it was great paying attention to Piet. I was just in conversation with Piet. He comes up with so many plants and so many plant combinations. And if you're there, you just listen. And you say, what is that? Well, I have to look that up. I never heard of that plant, or I've never used it. So he's a great inspiration. Not just his designs, but his conversations are wonderful. So when you're with your friends, if you bring up a plant, or if they bring up a plant that you're not familiar with, even the fact you're talking plants is a step in a good direction. So again, I got 2 left in this bag. And that one goes. And we'll have one right here at the edge. And this one at the edge will probably be just arching over the walkway. Maybe not quite as far, but just a little tease for people walking by with those beautiful orange spotted flowers. All right, I got my bag finished, and off I go. Thanks everybody for having fun with me. I'll see you later.